Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, I'm always glad to be on the show, Jim.
Larry, you have some big news from down under.
Yeah, the Australians have decided to, the press release was just out this week, have decided to go ahead. They've done their due diligence on the Reaugh de Boule property where we have the high-grade cobalt and gold, and they feel that there's a lot of potential there, and so they're going to proceed with the joint venture and spend a couple $1 million over 4 years. I see that as a huge plus for the shareholders because we don't have to raise money for it, and basically there's always a chance of some kind of a major discovery. So that's the exciting thing sitting in the weeds. Of course, we have an exciting project, which is our lithium-ion batteries, and certainly that is starting to get spotlighted. As I've been saying in the last few podcasts, we're getting more and more exposure that way. Currently, we're being dwarfed by marijuana stocks, cryptocurrencies. Gold has decided to make a very great rally towards the end of the year. But all said and done, I think next year we'll carve our own corner out in the market, and we will see some great action going on. When you get into that regards, anybody that's been following the markets at all will certainly have been paying attention to the marijuana stocks, and the cryptocurrencies and the marijuana stocks continue to keep going up, as does the lithium stocks, and now the cobalt stocks, and the next one in line is the recycling. Jim, when you stop and think about it, where is the cobalt going to come from? Well, I have to tell you today that it's trading at $75,500 a ton, and I can only see it going through 100 in the first quarter next year. What's that mean? Well, that means that there has to be a lot of mines being brought into production, which is not going to happen overnight. My mining experience says that from drill hole to commercial production is 10 years. I would say that in the case of a critical metal like this, that time could be reduced to 5 years, but even that is a long ways out. First of all, you got to drill, you got to outline the resources, then you have to do a study on what category the resources fall into, and hopefully a feasibility study. And with everything a go, you've got to work on your environmental permits, which takes time, and raise the money to put it into production. And if you're looking at high-grade shows, they'll probably be small, like the mine that's going to go into production probably sometime in the next couple of years in Idaho, but they'll only produce 1,100 tons of cobalt in a year. Now, where does that put recycling? Well, you still see the skeptics out there saying, is there any money in recycling lithium-ion batteries? God, I can do the math, and the math says that on the most popular battery out there, today the value is $2,800 worth of cathode material in that battery. So when you talk about the amount of batteries, when you're talking about millions of cars being produced out there, let's say 100,000 batteries. That's a $280 million worth of cathode materials in there. Sure to God, there's room for somebody to make money in that kind of a market, and we expect that we know we can get 100% of it back, and we're not sure on what the costs are going to be for the technology that's required to actually disassemble the individual cells, but there's a lot of money to work with, just like in mining, Jim. Sometimes you have difficult ore and hardness or underground underground and cave-ins or blocky ore. All those things you can overcome, and you can certainly, if you can put a battery together, a cell, you can take it apart. And that'll be automated robotics, and we'll be spending paying a lot of attention to that next year. So I see a very good year coming up for our shareholders. I'm happy to see the year closed up on the plus side. Gold is trying to get back to the $1,200 or $1,300 mark, and the marijuana stocks are going through the roof. Cryptos, well, I won't even comment on that. I missed that market, and rationalization didn't work for me in that case. But the lithium markets, companies are raising a lot of money. I think there was something like $42 million raised for lithium projects in October. You're starting to see other things that are developing, like a lot of attention being paid to manganese. Now that it could see a bigger use in batteries, and of course we have patented technology on that, and we have low grade resources in Arizona, and so we're covered. We're covered. And certainly their biggest mover is going to be the lithium-ion battery recycling, and the Cobalt project has the excitement of potential discovery in it. And of course the manganese is something that all this recycling developed from, was our manganese project, and that could be have a fire lit under it too. So it's going to be a busy year for the company, and I see a lot of plus side going up. So I just have to say that I couldn't see a better way of closing out the year, although we're getting that, that end of day small selling that keeps trying to drive the stock down, and that's predators trying to protect their short positions. But, that'll all come to an end. It can't go on like that forever. And so that's kind of what my message is today, Jim, is just a kind of a recap to say that we're very happy to have Longford come into the Cobalt project. That won't take away from what we're doing on the lithium-ion batteries recycling, because they're paying for everything for the next 4 years. And we'll also be gathering a little of their stock and some cash payments each year. So that can't hurt the bottom line. And I just wish everybody a happy new year and a prosperous one.
Larry, where are you traded and under what symbols?
We're traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange and the Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF, and we're traded in Frankfurt, which is now starting to pick up, under the symbol 2AM. We can be reached at our website, www.americanmanganeseinc.com. I can be reached on the phone at 778-574-4444. And you can reach me at my email address, LREAUGH@AMYMN.com.
Larry, have a Happy New Year.
Well, you have a Happy New Year, Jim, and I think it's going to be a great year.
My guest has been Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. We were speaking on December 28th. I'm Jim Goddard.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.